Coming back live from my computer. Video seemed to go well last time. Building the plane as we're flying it, trying out all these new things. Seems to be okay, so we'll see. Anywho, I am Liz Detterer, founder CEO of Selling with Service, creator of the Sales School for Entrepreneurs, and I'm coming to you in this 10-part series. If you're catching it on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and Facebook Live. Hey, hashtag replay. But coming to you in this 10-part series, just kind of breaking down some of the myths, if you will, or misconceptions that are out there about things that you have to have in place when you're starting a coaching practice that you just don't. It's costly. It's very time consuming. It's not your best skill set to be doing these things. So then it's frustrating, and you started out your business to help people, and now you're just like spinning. So I want to talk about that. Today's topic, we're talking about like your free opt-in, your lead magnet, and this goes perfectly on the heels of number 6, which was email marketing, which goes on the heels of number 5, which was your social marketing. All go hand in hand for sure. And there's definitely a common theme in what I'm saying is that, a lot of what I'm talking about is just where people are putting the cart before the horse. The business I had before this was a web design and marketing agency, and I shifted out of integrity, and there were a lot of things going on, but it was an integrity move because too many people were coming to me wanting the website without fully knowing a lot of the things that you have to know. And there's a reason why they were too premature, and the website just wasn't needed. What they needed instead was to master having conversations with people, which is what I was teaching them. But I didn't think I could pay for it until someone was like, yeah, Liz, you can charge for that. And then I was like, then I don't want to sell them a website if they don't need it. And then I shifted my business model. So that's how that happened, because I listened and to what people needed. But when it comes to free opt-ins and lead magnets, the purpose of a free opt-in or a lead magnet, people think it's to generate leads. That's the name. It's a lead magnet. It's a free opt-in, right? And it's not wrong. That definitely is the marketing function of it. But what gets forgotten is oftentimes, unfortunately, is what is of most value and benefit to your client in an already saturated market where information is not lacking. Why, with love, the fuck is your thing so important that they're going to clog their inbox with it? And it's not because you're amazing, because if it was just that, then they would just like be friends with you, right? What's forgotten about when it comes to email marketing and lead generation with these free opt-ins and all of that is people want to put the prettiest, sexiest thing out there, and like with the photo shoot and like the top 10 tips too and whatever. It's not that those things are wrong. It's just that, is that the best thing for your client that comes before the conversation you need to have to identify the problem that they have that you can solve? I'm going to try to go back through that again. Is the thing you're putting together the best thing to address the relevant issue that they're having that comes before the conversation that you need to have with them to identify that you can solve their problem for them? It has to be strategic in that respect. And it's not that people aren't being strategic about it. It's kind of linear thinking. You're like, oh, sales call. How do I get them there? I give them something. I give them some candy to come into the van, right? Bad analogy, but you know what I mean. We are not lacking for information. Everything is at the tip of our fingertips. So what it comes down to, probably 3, 5, 7, 10 years ago, putting together like the top 10 tips was really cool because you were synthesizing information that wasn't so readily available, but everything is easily available online, So what is going to make your information stand out and be different? Honest to God, what people want now is they want something that's going to get them instant results. What's going to solve their immediate problem? The problem that my people have before they come to me is that they're not growing their business because they're not having enough conversations with people, and they know that. They're trying to do the other things that I've talked about in here, like, the social marketing, the email marketing, the website, all that other stuff. They're trying to do those things, but it's not working. And they're like, I don't know what else to do. And it ultimately comes down to they know they're not talking to enough people. So what I do for free is I teach a 5-day challenge that is as condensed as I can get it down to without completely losing anything. A conversation creation challenge where I teach you how to use the internet to connect with people and have actual conversations. And the marketing is shifting in it, where the tagline is going to be fill your calendar in 5 days, because that's the problem we're solving. I'm helping coaches fill their calendar with people who actually want to talk to them, because the problem that people are having is that they're not having enough conversations, so that's why they're not converting enough clients. That's a free training. You get instant results, like straight up instant results. I mean, the pre-training to that is how to build up your LinkedIn profile, right? So it's instant results. That's what people want. A lot of the free opt-in offers that I see out there are very general, broad, generic. And the reason is because you haven't yet worked with enough clients to fully understand who they are, what the problem is specifically that they're having, the language that they are using to describe it, how you are doing the work with them, what you are working on and what you're not, boundaries. You need to have them, and you only gain them by experience to know precisely what it is, that thing that has to come before. And I'm going to tell you, with like your first 10 clients, you're going to be doing all the things with them. And it's not going to be until they either point it out to you, or if you're in my world, I might be able to help you see it too. But someone is going to say along the way, like, oh, that needs to come first. I don't need to do that with the client anymore. I want to have more time to do more of this instead. It's paid for market research, right? That's how you should be running your business, getting paid to do the market research, where you're getting people great results because you're working with them and you're so passionate and excited about working with them. And it's through that work that you're like, oh, this thing that we just did, they could have done that before I started working with them and gotten results. And then they would have been more prepped for the work that we're doing, and we would have had more time to do more of the things I really want to do, right? Do I love teaching the conversation creation challenge? Yeah, I love teaching it because it gets people results. But where I really want to play is once you get the basics and like how to do the outreach and you're in the flow and everything, then I really want to play with you, because then I want to know what's going on in those conversations. What are you hearing? What are they saying? Let's put together some of your packaging. Let's put together your then we get to play. That's when I get excited. And then it's like, okay, now what do we need to do to get them across the finish line as a client for you? Like how do we do that for you? That's where that's where I geek out. Getting them from out there in the ether onto your calendar, it's a necessary function. I teach it as a 5-day challenge. It's critical. It's foundational work. Whenever the sales school students aren't getting the results that they need to, I'm like, conversation creation challenge. Like, sorry, back to basics. Like, I know you already know what I'm going to say. Conversation creation challenge. Like, do the things. That's what always makes the cash register ring. Then from there, once they've got that going, now we've got something to work with. Now we've got some movement happening. We've got some conversations flowing. And now it's the juice that I can look at and say, oh, with this, we can make a thing. With this, we can do the whatever. But with the free opt-ins, with the lead magnets, with all of that, it's often done from a self-serving place of, I've got to grow my list. If you're growing your list with the wrong people, that even if they're 10% off the mark, you're going to generate a lot of false metrics, and it's going to have you fixing the wrong things. Get 10 good paying clients under your belt. Like, what a problem. I'm telling you, let me help you get 10 clients. Get 10 really good paying clients under your belt. That's what we do in the sales school. And then from that, we look at all of that paid for market research that you just developed, because there's a lot of opinions out there, but I don't care about those opinions. I want the opinions from the people who just paid me, because those are the only people I really care about. Then from that gold that comes out of all of those conversations, then we can play with it and figure out, okay, where did they come from? All right, now what do we need to, what do they need? What's the work that you're doing? Sorry, I'm like all over the place. I'm really excited. Where do they come from? What is the work that you're doing with them specifically? Like, what are the things that you're doing? Like, walk me through a VIP day with your client so I can really get in and see what are the results. And like, I know what's happening because they're telling me about their client scenarios as we're progressing through. So like, I already have an understanding of like the intimacy, the intricacies of their business. So then it's a function of, all right, well, you're working with Sally at this point, and this is really the conversation that you geek out about having. She needs to have this part before, so give it to her. And they're like, well, but I could be charging. You could be. You could be charging $1 for it. You could be charging $1,000,000 for it. But if this is the work that you love to do that work. Just do that work. Just do that work. Rinse and repeat, right? Get her the results and have fun doing it. If she needs the other stuff, stop operating from a scarcity mindset. Give her what she needs. She doesn't need information anymore. She needs results, right? Let her be 80% decided that she wants to work with you by the time she comes on your calendar. I'd want that a lot more than someone who's like, I don't know, I just came across you and like I wanted to see what you were all about. Nope. Nope. This and it's a function of having the conversations to know what is required, right? People try to build their businesses from what it looks like on the outside, right? And you need to build it. It's you have to reverse engineer it. You need to build it from the function, what happens on the inside, and then what happened right before that to get that person. What happened right then you start going outside, right? This is why in remodeling houses, kind of shifting gears here, but this was a business that's under my belt. When you buy a house to flip it, you don't start knocking out the inside. You don't start taking down the walls to make it an open concept. Nope, that is not where you start. You start on the outside. You make the outside look real good, the best you can, knowing what inside work has to get done, and like you don't want to do the driveway right away because like everyone's coming through, those sort of things, like nuances. And you want to do the bushes after you do the roof. That was a story. But you do the outside of the house first. Why? To start getting, some buzz around there. Then you do the inside, right? So it's like there's a backwards process that has to happen. So just kind of like, it's a little counterintuitive, the approach of helping the client in order to get the client. I get it, but this is where like the conversation creation challenge that I teach is a little hinge that swings a big door. So I hope this makes sense. I know I know that it does. Tomorrow, I am going to be going live at the scheduled time, and we're going to be talking about virtual assistants, hiring out team, like common mistakes that are made around that. And it's going to be really interesting to have that conversation based on everything we've talked about free opt-ins, email, social, building your client avatar, putting your packages together, websites, discovery calls, all of those sort of things. So this is a really fun step that we're going to take tomorrow. And thanks for staying and playing, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.